Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Mindless Project. What is this, episode 5? I forgot.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
Is it
five.
really? I thought it was 4.
Oh, what? Dude, we discussed this yesterday. It's 5.
Okay, anyways.
It's
Well,
five.
welcome back to episode 5. This
Welcome
video.
back to episode 5. Welcome to episode 5.
Welcome back. This episode we are going to talk
What
about...
up? Who are you? What's your name?
Who, me?
Yeah. Who are we, dude? They don't know our names.
Oh, sorry. I forgot.
Jackass.
I'm Alex,
I'm Michael.
And I'm Art.
and we're gay.
Only just
and
a
today
little
we're
bit.
going to be talking about conspiracy theories.
I'm
This is gonna be an
homosexual.
interesting one.
Conspiracy theories?
I'm gay for my nigga. Oh,
You can't
We're
say
gonna talk about
that.
I-
how the Earth is actually donut shaped.
I didn't mean to say that. I swear. All right, it just slipped out. Anyways, moving on. Yeah, today we're gonna talk about conspiracy theories. We looked into
Conspiracy.
some conspiracy theories that we thought were interesting and we might
Each of us
share.
have one.
Yeah, each of us have one. So I guess we're gonna get right into it, starting with
Without
Yeah,
further
I'll go ahead
ado,
and start off with mine.
Arturo.
All right.
just dox him.
So, I know, dude. They know my IP address. Okay, so my conspiracy theory is going to be about the New World Order. Basically, in
WA?
layman's
Oh,
Basically,
terms,
I'm monkey.
NWO. Stop.
basically in layman's terms, the New World Order is basically a group of a worldwide elites coming together to basically rule the world in like one like form of government type of thing. And I mean, there's a lot to go off of this. What was that?
What?
What?
What was that?
Santa Claus.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Along with the Easter Bunny, Jack Frost, Sandman.
Okay, well, talk about it. Sorry.
So, yeah, the New World Order. There's actually a lot of like possible like factual evidence, but I mean, there's too much for us to go over in one episode, so I'm just gonna go over like a few. So basically, over the years, it's actually been theorized that some natural disasters are actually purposefully caused to create chaos in order for government governmental authorities to take action and quote unquote save the day so that they can get appraisal and everything, and therefore like better ratings for the public.
So you're
and
telling me it's
from the public
staged?
stuff. Some stuff, yeah. Like,
How can it be staged?
whenever
Like,
there's
what do you
chaos and
mean?
stuff.
Like Sandy Hook?
Events.
Yeah, some stuff like that can be staged to create chaos and have like society
Oh, so,
depend
like-
on governmental authorities to like take action.
So not natural disasters.
Well,
That's
yeah,
just,
like have you ever seen that movie Geographing?
Oh, I heard that movie was ass.
Really?
It was.
You didn't even know
It was alright.
You don't even know which one I was
decent.
talking about.
I do. It was ass.
Did you really see it though?
The one with Butler, right?
No. I
Yeah.
don't know. I didn't see
The
it.
one with King Leonidas. Yes, I,
I don't
didn't
know.
see that.
I didn't see it.
I just know what it's about.
The one where they changed the weather, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I was asking Art.
Oh. Yeah.
What?
I didn't see
Does
it.
that play in the New World Order
No,
conspiracy
I mean
theory?
not directly. There's like some theories that suggest that like the wildfires in California
Oh,
are actually like a
shit! I didn't even know conspiracy
a
about that
scam.
too.
That was actually started by somebody, obviously, right? Not like nature can't start that, but no, I do believe
Like,
that.
quote
I
unquote
do.
accidental, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
Accidentally, like someone just like threw a match. No, I think he means more than just like throwing a match.
they were like, "Fuck them kids."
Yeah, like it was planned. Like they like I didn't hear I mean I didn't read up on this, but it was one that was suggested that could be a possibility. But I mean, if it is, I can imagine them planning it out and like actually planning a path that the fire would go through, and thus like killing a quarter of a forest, a quarter, I don't know, a fifth of a forest, and which is natural resources and stuff.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of
Like I
benefits
said,
for burning off a forest. It creates more life. That's what I was reading up on a while back. No, I'm serious.
I
Like
think it
volcanoes.
kills life actually.
Well, no, stupid. Like, okay, for example, volcanoes kill, right? Kill a lot of life and a lot of people,
Yeah.
but they're beneficial for the earth, obviously, because they reduce the greenhouse gases.
It's the Earth farting.
Yeah,
They
basically,
reduce greenhouse gases.
the earth queefs. It's like,
Dude, I don't know where you got those facts, but I think that's wrong.
how's
It
that?
increased the greenhouse
Man,
gases,
is
dude,
this?
because of all the
How's it
all
wrong?
the.
Look it
I don't know
up.
what it is. What?
Read a book.
You're gonna
Alright,
tell me.
Continue. Sorry. I want to hear more about this.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. So yeah, like I was saying, like some like governments around the world cause chaos in their own countries and cities to instill fear in the public to for them to later depend on the government to take action and keep them safe, or quote unquote unsafe, you know. But in reality, um the global elites that rule the country um are doing that just to, like, you know, instill fear in the public so that they can later control them without having them you know, fight back. They kind of like with social media as well, you know how they always like pronounce like negative news all the time. That could
Yes.
be like one of those reasons as well, to instill more fear or like give society a sense of like um
Anxiety or
potential
something?
doom.
Like, just keep
Yeah,
them on
pretty
their
much.
toes, dude. You know what? I firmly believe that Disney is a part of the Illuminati, bro. Do you know how many like
What is the
companies they've
Illuminati?
taken over?
Are we-
Huh?
Disney is taking over the world. They are the Illuminati.
They're the Empire.
That's actually in about the New World Order as well. Like the
I'm
Illuminati
telling
could be
you,
part of it as well.
I'm literally okay, dude. I've heard conspiracy theories that they have like an underground, I guess an underground city or something like that, like Disney World
Mhm.
itself.
Yeah. Wait,
So
the one in Florida or the one in California? I forget which one.
the one in Florida,
Is which?
Disneyland is California.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's Florida. A lot of people are weird in Florida.
Yeah, have you heard about the Florida man?
Yeah, who was riding on top of his car because he didn't want to go back to his
The
wife.
Florida man exists because he just to stop black people from registering to vote.
Yeah, pretty much.
Basically.
So yeah, I came across this topic because after watching V for Vendetta, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that movie,
Yes.
but it's
Yeah.
one of my favorite movies of all time. There's
Yeah.
actually a quote that I like from there. Let me find it real quick.
For some edge.
Knowledge, like air, is vital to life. Like air, no one should be denied it. So that also goes into New World Order, where
I just shit
governments
my
hide
pants.
like information from its citizens. So, like, uh, for example, like aliens, I guess, like Area 51, like we don't know what's there, and it could be vital information for the public to know, or it could cause more chaos. We don't know that for sure. So yeah, I really like this topic because, like, you know, it if it's true, then we're all pretty much fucked because we can't do anything about it.
I do feel like
Oh.
it is true because, oh, dude, I don't know if this correlates with it, but back where we live in Weslaco, next to Gibson Park, there's a Freemason lodge. Have you ever seen it?
Oh yeah, I've
I
seen
don't
it.
think so.
Dude, it's like with the
Freemasons aren't.
it's like with that protractor
Illuminati.
thing, and it has a G in the middle. Yeah, like
Mhm.
those two.
Wait,
Like,
where is
like
this?
next to Gibson Park, going towards Weslaco High School.
Oh,
It's like that one
Wait.
road border.
yeah.
Have you ever, dude? That creeps me out because
Huh.
like, out of everywhere in the world, it, like, It's there in Weslaco, right next to our houses, basically. Like,
Well, that's why the New World Order would suggest that they have agents like all over the world in every single city and
But-
country.
my question is, I want to know if Freemasons are the same thing as the Illuminati, or they're like
Oh.
different branches.
No, they're different things. Yeah.
So Illuminati's bad, Freemasons good, or not necessarily?
We don't know anything.
No shit.
Like we wouldn't be able to tell. We're not even sure
Probably
if
a
the Illuminati
branch.
is good
It's
or
probably a
not.
branch of the Freemasons, but
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I read this somewhere, but I feel like the Illuminati broke off from the Freemasons to do their own thing. I'm not too sure if that's correct, but I did hear
Well,
about that.
originally the Illuminati broke off from the Catholic Church because
Oh.
people wanted to express their own freedoms of religion. So people banded together, and then that's when they called it the Illuminati.
Damn, so they were Catholic?
No, they wanted to separate from the Catholic Church.
And that's why we have
And-
Christianity, ladies and gentlemen.
Christianity is the same thing as Catholic.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm not retarded. I just have mild autism.
So yeah,
Oh,
I feel like
I got a question.
I could
there.
go into a lot more, but yeah, okay, go for it.
So do you guys know the Doomsday, the Doomsday Stonehenge? Like it's where it says like the world population should not go over 500 million.
We're way
Like
past
for
that.
rules to follow. Yeah, I know. Is that involved
I
with the
haven't
New
heard
World
of
Order?
it, actually. I've never
You haven't heard of it? It's
the
in Georgia.
Stonehenge? The Stonehenge has that?
It's called the Doomsday Stonehenge. So what it is, it's written in multiple languages
Yeah.
about rules that we should follow. Georgia, which is crazy.
And one of them was
Damn.
not going over 5 million?
500 million.
500.
Bro, what if we're like, I don't know, bro, like, we're way past that. How much, we have like some
It's going.
billion.
It's
Almost
like
8 now.
7.4. We're on 8 billion right now.
I think we're like 7.7 or 6 right now. We're
Almost 8
getting close to
billion,
8.
dude.
7.5.
We are overpopulating this planet, and we do not have
Oh,
enough
shit.
resources for anything. And
Yeah.
global warming. It's scary, bro.
So like as of right now, we're not sure if like the New World Order is just like America like getting like its highest like politicians and like banding together and like starting the New World Order in America, or if it's like actual across the world where like governmental elites are banding together to create like their own like private government to later rule the world.
I'm pretty sure it's Americanized because, you know, I don't ever hear anything like in other countries. For example, you know what? I take that back. UK is very fishy. If you look into the monarchy of the Queen and like all the descendants and all that, they're fishy, bro. Like,
Killed Diana.
she killed Diana. I'm pretty sure she's done a lot more than that, and she can get away with it for whatever she wants to do, bro. Like, she will not get put into jail just because she's solely the queen of Europe or fucking Britain.
Of Europe.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. I failed geography.
George Bush, the first George Bush, I forget his
George W.
I guess
H.
senior?
Bush
yeah, is that his middle name? H?
or George H. W. Bush, something like that.
Don't talk about Bush.
No?
I have a.
Why not?
I'm talking about Bush when it comes to what I'm talking about.
Well, hold on. Well, what were you gonna say about him, anyways?
Well, I was just gonna say that he mentioned the New World Order in one of his speeches when he was
Okay.
president.
Are you
and-
serious?
Yeah, but
What?
his definition of New World Order was having like presidents, dictators, or you know, like the leaders of like nations and countries to come together to like create peace. That's what he thought of what the New World
peace.
Order was.
Okay.
No, yeah, quote unquote peace. Yeah. So I feel like he tried to instill that in us early on.
I firmly believe that the Illuminati has influences in the rap industry, or any and like the music industry in general, but most specifically in the rap.
Yeah, I've
Alright,
heard of that
well,
too. Yeah,
But yeah,
that's
no,
such a conspiracy. So sorry to cut you off.
it's all
what?
good.
That's what?
Uh, I'm pretty much done because I can go on forever, but I'll let you guys go.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into the Illuminati, and I don't blame you. But anywho,
All right, who's
I
next?
me I have the conspiracy theory about the Mandela effect. For those of
Skip. All
you,
right, let's go to Michael. No, I'm kidding.
fuck you. All right. To sum it all, what the Mandela effect is, it is a. Let me get that fucking. Oh my god, I don't know where it is. Let me just summarize it. The Mandela effect
He's gonna
is
Yahoo
like
it real quick.
it's a psychological thing in like the brain that you know how like people have deja vu. I don't know if it's like correlating with deja vu, to be honest. I feel like
No.
it is.
It could be.
But the Mandela
Yeah.
effect is like you see something like a product or something or a TV show, and you remember it being
Spelt-
said one way or spelt one way, and now it's spelt a different way,
You
and you're
should,
like, wait, what the fuck? I don't remember it being like this. But
should talk about how it started at first. Why it's called the Mandela effect.
okay, well, the Mandela effect was
Why is it called the Mandela effect?
the Mandela effect goes after Nelson Mandela. He's a what was he African
He
activist
was
or
an
something?
South African advocate,
South African advocate. I forgot what he was protesting for, but
right?
oh true.
Right?
Fuck off.
Just
Anyways,
something small.
he so a lot of people got it started with the Mandela effect because some say that he was killed or he died in jail, and then other people, what was it? He was
He either died in jail or he died of old age, and I remember it as dying of old age because there's literally a
Yeah.
funeral, televised that he was died. that he died.
exactly. But there was a lot of books and stuff saying that he, or other sources saying that he died in jail. What if he died in jail with old age? Um,
But he didn't.
so that's how the
Mind
Mandela
blo-
effect got started, and which gives us reason why this is called the Mandela effect. It's named after him because a lot of people thought this, but it was actually that. So, some of the examples that I have pulled up here are, how about that TV show Sex in the City? Who remembers that?
Ever watched
Yeah,
that?
I mean, I've never watched it, but I've always thought it was Sex and the City.
Girl, that was my favorite show.
I always knew it was sex in.
Yeah, I thought it was Sex in the City. It's Sex and the City, and that didn't make sense to me.
And for some reason.
Let's see. What about the Berenstain Bears? The spelling or the how it's said.
Bernstein.
I forgot the
Bernstein.
original spelling, like what was changed from the quote unquote original.
I thought it was Bernstein. It's Bernstein.
Yeah. Also, I just looked at this one. Who remembers the Monopoly Man? Did
Yeah.
he have an
I remember
eyepiece?
him. He never had an eyepiece.
What? Yes, he did. What are you talking
I-
about?
I don't remember him having an eyepiece. To
He
be
never
honest.
had an
always
eyepiece.
had an eyepiece.
Oh, dude, I have Monopoly on my PS4. I played Monopoly. The first time I played it was like when I was 10. I
Mhm.
never remember him having a monocle.
Dude.
Hmm.
Come on.
Oh, it could have been like a change of design later on.
No. Well, maybe that makes sense. That
Look
actually
up,
is
look up
plausible.
old school Monopoly board.
Mm.
Yeah, probably.
Well, I mean, okay, hold on. Let me before I do it. I have another one here. J.C. Penney. How do you spell that? The store. The store J.C. Penney.
JC and then how you spell regular penny? PENNY.
No, sir. It's J.C.P.E.N.N.E.Y.
Or just see Penny.
No, Penny. Dude, that's crazy. I literally remembered J.C. Penney to have that just one
Honestly,
Y.
Every time I type in JCPenney when I'm texting, I just type it and then it autocorrects and I don't even care what it
Oh
says.
my god. How about Curious
Dude,
George?
JCPenney here in Westlaco, like it's spelled with N Y.
No, because we fucking Mexicans don't know how to spell.
Well, Curious George.
Curious
I don't remember
George
Curious George that much.
Oh, okay. Well, I clearly remembered him
Yeah, I
having a
remember.
tail. He doesn't have a tail.
Wait, he doesn't have a fucking tail, dude?
I remember, right? He had a tail, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh my god, he doesn't. Apparently,
I've seen a book, and I did not pay attention to if he had a tail or not, and I would say he didn't have a tail.
dude, you didn't fucking pay attention to anything.
Exactly.
How about
'Cause
Pikachu?
I'm not retarded.
How about Pikachu's tail? I clearly remembered at the very end of his tail there was like a black stripe.
It was in the beginning
Not
of the
a
tail,
stripe.
not the,
No. Well, like not. I'm
the
talking
tail,
about
not
like
the end of the tail.
the end of the tail going away from his body.
I remember it only
What?
being in the beginning of the tail, not the end of the tail.
Like the black marks?
Yes.
What? Yeah, there's a lot of that. Like a lot of these examples here. But another thing that I was thinking of, or that I heard of when I, looked on YouTube. That's where I get all my information from. I was looking at a YouTube video, and I think it was Shane Dawson, I believe, but he was talking about how that the Mandela effect could be correlated to like different alternate realities. Like let's say we remember like something being this way, but it's not really. In this reality, it's getting mixed up with another reality. That's why I feel like deja vu plays a part in this topic, because like I've also heard deja vu being like another reality, like, oh well, it felt familiar because maybe something like that was happening in the other reality. So yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, fuck you, Michael.
I've actually heard that,
Okay.
speaking like of alternate realities, that
Cool.
we're like in one of the worst ones.
Why are we in the
That
worst
we're in
one?
one of the worst alternate realities. Because of the way politics is going and the way global warming is going. Just
Well,
like
how do you know-
globally, the way the world is going.
How do you know that there's another reality that's worse than this one?
There could be, but we're probably in one of the worst ones.
We don't know. It's too much. That's too much to think about.
My head hurts. Speaking of alternate realities, Rick and Morty season 4 is coming out this November. I'm excited. I've been waiting for that for 2 years. Almost 3 years. Actually, no, 3 years.
Ye-
Wait, no, 2 years. I forgot when the last episode aired.
Yeah, 2 years.
Michael's talking shit to me in the Discord chat. I hate
Why are you
Michael.
exposing me?
Cause it's not funny. How did you italicize that?
I'm telling you, you exposed me. We're supposed to talk about what pops up in the chat.
What says in the chat stays in the chat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyways, who's next?
Guess that's me.
I think we're done with the podcast,
Yeah.
so we'll see you guys
Thanks
next
for
time. Catch you
tuning
guys
in.
later.
Yeah, guy. Bye.
time.
Hurry up.
Go.
Anyway, okay. Want to talk about the JFK assassination, the most proclaimed theory of all time.
Mhm.
Assassinated on November 22nd, 1963 in Dallas in this car.
Good old ticks.
He was assassinated by Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeehaw.
That's what it was said, right? And Lee Harvey Oswald was then killed on live television by someone.
Wait, the what?
Was shot by someone when he was going to jail, like after his
Oh,
court
The
hearing.
media
Yeah.
wants you to know.
Mhm.
Actually, that actually happened. What do you mean? So I'll tell you. I'll talk about what happened about the conspiracy behind Lee Harvey Oswald. But
Oswald.
first, we talk about how he got assassinated. So he was driving in a car, or he was in the backseat of a car. Was his wife, Jackie Kennedy, and one of the generals. I think it was a mayor. In the front. So there's 3 rows of that in that car. JK was in the very back. So They were in the street, got shot in the back of the head. His head blew up and just was gone. Like,
Pause. Hold on. See, the Mandela effect is kicking in now. I thought he was shot in the front.
Shot in the back of the head. What?
No,
when,
yeah.
when was he shot in the front? You're retarded.
Well, because like if you look at the video, well, I mean, I
He
could be
shot
wrong.
in the back.
Okay,
His
chill,
head
hold
goes
on.
forward, which means that he got shot in the back of the head.
You're
If you
tripping.
see the video,
You're
a
tripping.
chunk of his head is on the back of his head.
You're tripping.
There's literally a chunk.
The chunk goes behind. That's why the wife had to like get on the trunk of the car and get it.
His head got okay, whatever. He got blasted in the head. It doesn't change the fact.
Okay.
So he got shot. I'm telling you why. I'm gonna tell you why I say it's behind.
Okay, tell me.
It's not. If you want to say in front, yes. If you want to say behind, I'll say yes too. I honestly think there was more than one shooter, but I'll get to that.
Okay.
So he got shot in the head. Got shot, except for the mayor, general, whoever it was in front of him. He got shot in the leg. He got grazed in the leg area.
Yeah.
So if he was shot from the front, go back to him, you know. But if he was shot from the back, how can it go through the head, then end up in the leg?
Yeah, I've heard of the
So anyways,
multiple shooter theory. I feel like it's very possible for that to happen.
Wait, your question was if
So
he was shot in
that
the
happened.
back, how does it go to the leg?
Let's go through the leg of the general who was sitting in front of him, the mayor, the general, whoever it was.
I have like.
Let me. Oh my god.
Okay.
I'm trying to talk about other things. I'll answer your question after I'm done explaining something else.
Okay. Okay.
Is that he wasn't actually assassinated by Lee Harvey Oswald, or he was, and he was actually assassinated by the government. The U.S. government was set up by the government, CIA, whatever, and his, his
His what?
He was killed to end his presidency because he was too, I guess, liberal at the time. He was very, very liberal, and he was trying to. Well, not very, very liberal. He was kind of liberal.
He was a libtard.
I'd heard he wasn't liked in the office.
He wasn't liked because he won the vote because of how good looking he was.
Yeah.
So Donald
He
Trump.
won the presidency.
Popularity.
Wait, so he was running as a Democrat or Republican?
He was running as a Democrat against
a government full of Republicans.
what was that dude? Richard Nixon. Richard Nixon was the Republican vote, and JFK was the Democrat vote, and JFK won because he's obviously better looking than Richard Nixon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he
So-
can, like, get it.
That is the whole thing. Was like the government government collusion, the government planning to kill JFK. There's also more theories in that. I know one theory. Well, it's an entire conspiracy theory, but one talks about the fact that it was actually Lyndon B. Johnson who set that up, which was JFK's vice president. Lyndon B. Johnson did not like JFK.
What?
There is supposedly that eating somewhere else, but Lyndon B. Johnson wanted him to go to Dallas to gain more support. His second term election was coming up. It was in 1963, so 64 would be the election year. So he told JFK to go to Dallas, get some support, ride with the mayor. I'm pretty sure it's the mayor at this point. Dallas, that way he shows you support, and he gets here because Dallas is a big city.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Lyndon B. Johnson told JFK, and JFK obviously didn't want to do that, but he was forced to because JFK was still young. He listened to people that were older than him, and like the majority of people. So what is that? Lyndon B. Johnson was behind the assassination as well as the government.
You know, I feel like the people riding with them were probably in on it as well, because I heard that.
I mean, Jackie was in it too.
Oh, you fucking asshole.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. But I'm
No,
just saying,
if that
like,
was-
maybe
Bro,
the driver and the
her husband
passenger
got
was
shot.
because
Maybe the
I know.
driver.
But wait, let me
but-
finish. Because I heard that they weren't supposed to go through that route, but JFK wanted
Oh,
to.
yeah.
Wanted to see the citizens or like the people.
Yeah.
The And he also begged them to put their top down as well, so that he could actually like wave to them. So I mean, it could have been set up from the very beginning.
Didn't they
Yeah,
assassinate
so-
Jackie as well?
No.
Shooter. They assassinated his brother.
Oh, that's the one.
Yeah. So another theory is about George H.W. Bush, which is what we were talking about earlier about how he was talking about the New World Order.
Yeah.
He was also talking about bringing him up because of the fact that he was the director of the CIA during the time JFK was assassinated.
Mm.
One theory about it was back in the time when Trump was supposed to release the documents about the JFK assassination, he said that he wasn't going to release it because of the fact that there's still people living in that document, like who are alive today. Well, not today, but who are alive at the time that were in the document,
So they could be targets.
so they can be like outed, right? So at the time when Trump said this, George H.W. Bush was still alive. Obviously, he's dead now.
Well, obviously, he was like 50.
Trump, like, to be released later. 5 years. He pushed it. So people seem to think that because of the fact that George H.W. Bush was the director of the CIA at the time, still alive at the time, it was a time. George H.W. Bush was the CIA director at the time JFK was assassinated, and he was alive when the documents were supposed to be released. Some people say that he wasn't in the actual assassination. The bigger targets that the people point out to being the reason why JFK was assassinated. It's a very, very like deep theory. Or I'll talk about another one, the magic bullet. So the magic bullet, which is what Alex was getting on about, what he was getting a boner for, was about how the fact that the bullet traveled. It shot through his head, right? It went through his head,
Yes.
and then it went down. It went out of his body and then into the person in front of him, his leg.
Okay, can I get my 2 cents into that?
Yeah, what?
Okay. It's simple physics. You hit something, it's not going to keep going straight. Obviously, it's going to take like a slight detour.
So you're telling me
I'm
this. This. That a bullet, I think 350 meters per second, miles per hour, someone take an immediate left, immediate right, puncture out of someone, go into the person's arm, it was actually the arm, and then end up in the leg.
Hold on.
Simple physics.
Hold on. You said it took an immediate left?
Yes, it went directly left.
After it came out of JFK's head, it took an immediate left and then a right, and then it hit the guy's arm and then grazed the leg.
No, it
Went
inside.
down.
Huh.
Was in JFK's body when it turned left.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Then
That's
it
weird.
turned out right and got out of him. And then went to the guy in front of him. It went through his arm of JFK's left side of the body. And it went into the guy's right side of the body, his right arm. And then it ended up in his leg, his left leg.
Yeah. I give up. I don't know.
Exactly. So the reason why it's magic bullet. That's what it's called,
Mhm.
because of the fact that only one person was assassinated him. Like there's a video of it, and like there's obviously no sound, but it was like a quick succession. Like it happened. There's just a shot, and then that's it, and a shot. Lee Harvey Oswald, the assassinator, he used a bolt action rifle. Take the bolt out, and it doesn't take like less than a second to do that. It takes about a second to do that. You're okay.
What?
Especially if you're assassinating, I heard a screenshot.
Oh,
Especially
that
if you're
was
assassinating a
6 seconds.
president like that, I'm pretty sure that's something like that would make you on edge if you're the assassinator. Like that's pretty crazy, right?
Yeah.
How can he like the gun so quickly and then shoot again? It doesn't make sense. Like there has to have been another shooter.
If that were to happen, he'd have to be like really trained. But I don't
Exactly.
believe he was more trained than like a special ops. So
Exactly. But magic bullet theory, and it also leads into the two shooters theory, which is the fact that there was another shooter us. And in that theory, I'm gonna lead off into another theory with that Lee Harvey Oswald actually didn't even assassinate. Okay, I'm
Sorry,
gonna
I
lead
got a
into another
message.
theory. The fact that Lee Harvey Oswald wasn't even the assassinator, that he was set up. It was planned for him to get arrested, for him to get killed, and then for us to think that Lee Harvey Oswald was the actual assassinator. That's what another theory I've heard. Also, another thing I want to talk about, and it pertains to the magic bullet theory. The guy who was in front of JFK, his name is Connolly. When he was on the stretcher,
Yeah.
on his side, that was there on the stretcher, like when he went to the hospital.
Is that the one that got shot? The side?
Yeah, that's the guy. Yeah. How? But did you miss what I said? A clean bullet, no blood. Clean bullet on the stretcher with the guy.
What?
Was supposed to have gone through two people, but yet it's clean. It's not even like somewhat destroyed. Like, because when you fire a bullet, like the back of it, it's like it's busted, like it's
Especially if it hits
blasted.
the skull, which is like kind of thick.
It's like if it hits bones, like of course it's gonna have some tearage in the front.
It should even splinter the bullet
How
itself.
Wait,
how-
no.
is there a bullet on the stretcher?
You're telling me, okay, you're telling me the bullet stayed intact.
That's what they're
Yeah.
telling us. That's what they're telling us, Alex.
The bullet
The bullet
doesn't, the bullet doesn't,
I know.
like, explode. What are you talking about? Like, there's a little
Yeah, I
pellet.
know.
That's the bullet that shoots. The
No,
cartridge.
bullets?
Yes.
That's what he's talking about. I know bullets are a pellet. I'm talking about the pellet, the bullet of the bullet, not the cartridge. The
I'm not talking about the
gunpowder-
cartridge. I'm talking about the pellet.
I'm not talking about that.
I'm not
talking
talking
about the bullet.
I'm talking about the bullet. Yes, I'm talking about the
It
bullet.
looks like
The
a
bullet
You know what I'm
doesn't-
talking about? I'm talking about bullets that look like from the fucking Revolutionary War. I'm talking about bullets nowadays, which is like a pierce. It has a piercing
that's what I'm
shape.
talking about. But I don't know
Yeah.
what they're called, like in terminology for guns or whatever.
They're called the capsule or no, I
Okay.
don't know.
No, I
Either
think
way,
the capsule is like where it goes in. So the bullet, it doesn't get damaged. That's the actual like, that's the bullet.
Why? But if it
does
went through
get
two people,
damaged.
how does it not get damaged? How does it not? How's there not even any blood on it?
Okay,
And
think
there's
about it.
not blood.
Think about it like this. Not
Pushed
that I'm
into
saying.
the ER, and there was a picture of of the bullet, and it was clean. There was no explosion in the back, which is what happens when you shoot a bullet. Like like it's not just clean. Like the bullet just shoots out. Like there's a little explosion that the bullet encounters to make it go out, which is a gunpowder.
Yeah.
So not all bullets look clean when they're shot.
Exactly. Not all bullets look clean.
That one was clean. That's what I'm telling you.
Maybe it's like the 99% that don't look clean, or that 1%.
Like it went through JFK's head, guy's
It
arm, and
supposedly
into
ricocheted
the
through his
leg.
body.
Stay clean. If it went through two people's innards, how? If it stays in a person's leg, how is it clean? How does it clean?
I'm just saying, New World Order, dude.
It's the
New World
Mandela
Order.
effect.
So that's the point. That's the point of the bullet. That's another thing I want to talk about the bullet. So what I think about JFK, I think he was assassinated by the government, CIA. That's what I personally think.
Yeah.
It is too much of a one dude to plan. Something that one dude cannot plan. Like the stars have to align. JFK has to say like, oh, like take the hood down. Oh, go to this
Yeah.
different thing.
He'd have
Oh,
to
like
know about all those
it's gonna
things.
be in Dallas.
Yeah, no, I get you. Like, how did? Or
It's
the
so much for
supposed
one person,
Lee
like,
Harvey Oswald.
One person doesn't just go like, oh, I'm gonna assassinate JFK right now.
Exactly. And how did he know he was going to be there? Especially when he took a detour. That had to be like coincidental.
Exactly. So there's a lot. was
That's
the
also something
assassinator.
that could be caused by the New World Order as
Yo,
well.
your mic is
You're
orgasming.
cutting off. You're cutting off. You're cutting off.
Oh. Wait, tell me when I'm sounding good. I'm
You
sounding
sound
good
like
now or
a
no?
fucking
You sound
robot.
bad right now.
You sound horrible.
Okay, anyway, let
Leave the call
me
and get
stop.
back
let me keep talking. Anyway, so I personally think that Lee Harvey Oswald did not assassinate JFK.
He was a decoy.
That is my opinion. Boy, he was just used by the government. He was because I know I heard of a video talking about Lee Harvey Oswald himself. I don't remember all of it, but I know he was a regular person. Like, he wasn't just job. He didn't have any he didn't have any psychological records about him like that were damaging to him. He didn't have depression. He didn't have anything. Like he was
Ted
a normal
Bundy?
person. He's a psychotic. Like, that dude has. Ted Bundy is an actual psycho.
Okay.
This guy
but
wasn't.
He literally.
But
Okay, anyways.
Tell you is that these people want to kill people, and he didn't. Like, Lee Harvey Oswald was not that type of person. It's someone to assassinate a president, nonetheless. Saying, so that's why I think that he is not the assassinator.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
So
Hey, what
it was set up
about
by the government, CIA.
what about the only person to ever
What
record
happened
the
to JFK?
event? That old lady Russian grandma,
Oh yeah, there was a video of when it happened.
and
There's also a guy who held an umbrella, like, who held it and stopped. It was a sunny day, and he was holding an umbrella.
shit. I'll fucking wear an umbrella for a sunny day. It's way too
He
damn
was wearing
hot.
a suit and a hat, and he had an umbrella.
Hell yeah. It's Texas
Okay.
bipolar.
Have we
Okay.
been up with?
You're
What?
still cutting off.
Still cutting up?
Oh my god, yeah. But they never found that old lady. Like, she just literally disappeared out of thin air, which
Yeah.
is kind of creepy.
There's a lot of things about fishing. It's very fishy. There's a lot of inconsistencies that the government tells us that we see. There's a lot of those things, that are just, that don't make sense. They don't add up.
Point is, don't trust the government under any
Yes.
circumstances. Speaking of, Michael, like, using a decoy, the government using a decoy for, like, big events or something. How about the Sandy Hook elementary school shooting?
Oh yeah, I've heard of that conspiracy theory.
That the children okay, there's a conspiracy theory. I'm not saying it's true. I'm not denying it. I'm not agreeing with it. There's a conspiracy theory out there saying that the Sandy Hook elementary school shooting was fake. It was a staged event, which means
Yeah.
the government got the school shooter. That guy, he I don't know what, like, I guess he was paid to do it or something, and they put him there in that situation to, I guess, allegedly kill these kids. I don't even believe that the kids are dead, to be honest. They're just, like, hiding somewhere, basically.
So
Also,
they're just new names.
yeah, I guess so. Like, they changed their whole identity. Also, there's another theory that the crisis people, the crisis actors there, those people have been taken a photo of, like, crying. There's one woman who's been seen in different crisis events. I think one was the Boston bombing, and then another one was, I can't remember the other one.
With stuff like that, I don't really believe stuff like that with the pictures, like, of this person being the same thing, because it can easily be photoshopped into the picture.
That's true.
These kind of threads.
See,
But
and that's
I
another
have
thing.
heard of it, though.
That's another thing. We
have
can't
heard of
really
that theory.
trust anything nowadays because everything just seems to be faked or photoshopped, or a lot of technology now just proves everything wrong,
Hmm.
which is
Yeah,
upsetting.
but I heard of that theory, and I heard also that the kids, like, they weren't even seen. There was an aerial view of the elementary, and there was no kids. Like there was 0 kids outside the school. Like, it was just cop cars and hospital cars and hospital trucks.
And they
just,
never showed the kids, like, coming out of the.
And there's never any kids shown. Like, I know of that theory.
Whoa! I didn't even realize that, honestly.
Problem with the theory that I heard now, that happened with it now, because back when this happened, this was during Obama's presidency. That the fact that that was set up so that way they can have like gun control, right?
Look where we're at now.
But it still happens, you know. Like there's still school shooting. There's still school shootings. There's a
Dude,
last
one just
year, like
happened. Literally, one just
yeah,
happened
in
a few days
Colorado.
ago with this kid.
In Colorado,
One
yeah, I
kid,
know.
he saved himself for his whole classmates.
Yeah, no.
That's the most recent one. I heard there was roughly 1,000 kids who have died from school shootings.
Yeah,
1,000.
it's crazy. Problem I have with that theory now is because it's a different Republican president.
Yeah.
These things still be happening. In like the U.S. like there's public shootings, being shot. Like there last year was a dude in Las Vegas who just absolutely murdered
Oh, with the concert,
so many
right?
people at that concert. Yeah,
Oh, I
these
heard
things
a lot of
happening.
conspiracy theories about that one.
That's it's just a lot of stuff.
Like, I feel like the government paid him to do that, or they did something to him
Yeah,
to do
no,
that.
there's just a lot. Like you know, like there's two sides to every story.
There's always two
There's
sides. Yeah.
there's that theory. It could be true. I don't like. I like to think it's not. Um, because of the fact that, like, I do believe that we should at least limit, like, who we sell guns to. Like, I'm not saying take away guns.
No, dude.
Like the alt right keeps saying, like, oh, they want to take away our guns. Like, that's not what I want to do. Well, personally, like, I don't want to take away guns. Like, we still need to have that right to bear arms, but
Yeah. But then
we
there's
can't just
another
give
argument where in
to like
Australia,
fucking the Gunter that lives in a trailer park with his cousin. Like, I don't want to give a gun to him.
Gunter. No, there's definitely like an extensive background search. Like, where do you live? What kind of area do you live in? What is your purpose for the gun? What have you done in the past, criminal wise? You know, what's your psychological status or something?
Yeah, but
Um,
that's to get a license to carry it. Purchased a
Just to get
gun.
a license?
One of my friends, he literally went to a pawn shop, got a gun, and walked out. Like that's how easy it is to just carry it.
You know what's easier?
Like to carry it is different.
You know what's easier? Gun shows.
The point I was trying to say is that anyone can get a gun, like from not from a gun sale, like maybe a guy who actually has a market on selling guns, like maybe he does the background searches, but
Yeah.
pawn shops just go in, buy a gun, get out. Like obviously that's in Texas, like that's how this is are in Texas. Obviously different, but
Yeah.
it's different to get a gun different places. Like
What about what about the argument where like they prohibited guns in Australia and they're living a lot better over there, happy, murder free and all that stuff. Like
oh yeah,
what I don't know. Why can't we do that here? What's the difference between America and Australia?
the problem with doing that here is that we come from a background where our owners like want us to kill us. The UK wanted to kill the Americans, like because the Americans wanted to revolt.
Oh,
The
true.
reason why our founding fathers wanted us to bear arms,
Yeah.
like wanted the future citizens to bear arms. That way, in case there is an uprising. And I understand that. Like, believe me, I do believe in the Second Amendment. The fact that we should at least limit who we sell the guns to.
I think
And I honestly think people should not be. I think if you're not allowed to drink alcohol until 21, then you should not be allowed to have a gun until you're 21.
yeah.
Think that. That's where you can start. Like, limit age, get age restriction on the guns. Like,
Well, isn't there an age restriction? I couldn't get a gun.
well, like, I think it should be 21 still. That's the point
Okay.
with the drinking age. Because when, like, the government says, like, oh, like, when you're 21, like, your brain is fully developed, so that way the alcohol doesn't damage your brain. Why can't we just sell a gun to anyone? Like why can't, like, Timmy, who's just turned 18, buy a gun and go shoot up his school?
Tamar.
I'm trying to say.
Um,
I was having problems, but he wanted to be a part in this and say that comes back to his theory about the New World Order and their domination.
yeah, sorry
To
about
instill
Art.
fear.
Art's like
Yeah,
Art's
no, but
Wi-Fi is literally a
he-
potato.
wanted to take this. He wanted to relate it back to the New World Order, that how they're using these events, they're planning these events, currently happening because of the fact that the world, like the New World Order, wants to instill fear into us.
Everything
Powerful they
leads
are.
back to the Illuminati. And
Yeah.
I think I want to say one small thing about the Illuminati. The Illuminati is trying to reduce the population somehow, some way. And for example, there's one of them. One example is the Flint crisis in Flint, Michigan. They have
Mhm.
not yet, cleaned the water. Why? Population. They want to start there. What about California, the big fire? Population. What about where else? All of these school shootings you see, population. It all comes down to that. And what about actually,
Art had
yeah,
Art chimed in again with this with the population control. He said that maybe these anti-vax people don't talk about anti-vax. So I'm pretty sure he's trying to relate it to the fact that anti-vax people are using aren't vaccinating. So maybe the government's like planning these people who are like who in vaccines and they're using them to limit the population because like there's diseases coming back from hundreds of years ago that are back now, like
the bubonic plague is
the
back.
Black Plague. It's like all of that, like that could be used by like this world order to decrease it because these little small things like that, they add up. Like school shootings, they add up. The people who don't have water, it adds up. People who die of that.
Everything is just too
These
coincidental.
from these dumb like anti-vax people, like they're dying too.
Exactly.
There's a lot.
Yeah, let me just give my little Timmy some essential herbs, but he can't go play in the playground because there's literally malaria there.
No,
Die from
no,
simple flu.
freaking common.
I don't know. It's all too coincidental.
Just don't care about
Everything-
Timmy going to the playground. They want Timmy to go to the playground. They just don't want Timmy to be vaccinated because it causes autism.
I don't
doesn't cause
believe
autism.
that. I really don't. I feel like okay. Here's what I was thinking. I feel like autism is caused by. Obviously, it's not vaccinations, but I feel like if you put vaccinations close to each other, like the dates that you get them, it can kind of lead to that. But vaccinations do not
Coincidence.
cause autism at all. I'm telling you.
It's a coincidence.
Is it really?
Pretty sure that's what you're trying to say. No, like you're trying to say it's a coincidence that when kids get autism, like that's when their vaccines are
Well, I'm saying like it's a possibility that if you date your vaccinations, your baby's vaccinations too close to each other, there's a possibility where you
okay, yeah, I get you,
develop autism. But if you do it the right way, which is like spread them out and stuff, you literally don't have to worry about that.
But the problem that I have with that, like, oh, I don't want my kid to have autism.
Yeah.
Autism isn't. It isn't.
It's not a
like-
bad disease. It's not even a disease at all. It's just like a.
There's so many theories that say that autistic people are the next step in our evolution. Like
Oh shit.
that's like it's our genes evolving to become like dominant in something like.
It's a mutation. It's
I don't want to be like what is it?
harsh and sensitive.
Harsh, but yeah, insensitive. There you go. But like usually like autistic people, they're gifted at something.
Yeah, of course,
A
dude.
great talent. Like
you're
they're
telling
not
me-
dumb.
You're telling me, dude, this literally some autistic people are musical geniuses
Yeah.
who they conduct orchestras or whatever. Dude, you're telling me that's not amazing? I can't even read music notes for my life.
Anyway,
But you know what's also crazy? When people get in like accidents that involve like brain damage and then they come back from that, they can develop another skill, like a cool skill. I feel like people with autism have unlocked that part of the brain to come alive, instead of getting hurt over it,
yeah. Well, so what? So Art has like I don't know if he's okay with me talking about this, but I was gonna say he knows someone who has autism. Yeah, he said to go for it. So his brother has autism, and he said that like usually like the like autistic kids aren't always like gifted with some type of thing but
Well, what are the statistics?
that's what he's trying to say. I'm just talking about what Art's saying because he can't talk right now, but
Oh.
he said there's stages of it, like there's, and I know the stages of it of autism, like it's a developing thing over time. Like when you have autism as a kid, it's not as bad as when you have autism when you're like a teenager, and when you have autism when you're a teenager, it's not the same as when you're an adult with autism.
Well, I mean, yeah, when you grow old, you kind of get accustomed to it, so you try to work
Yeah.
with what you have, which is why, I feel like they go to therapists, like speech therapists or something like that, occupational therapist. Um, but they help them get their day-to-day life in order, basically, as where if they just do whatever they want, that's can't happen because it's kind of like a crazy scene. I'm not like
Well,
being insensitive or anything, but that's how
gonna be
that's how I
insensitive
see.
to.
I mean, that's how I see.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is kind of like sorry to get into autism, but
But
I'll
this
kind
is
of
like,
just
dude, this goes hand in hand with everything that we've been talking about.
well, it's not necessarily a conspiracy. Like autism is very real and it happens, but
Well, it's a conspiracy that
I don't think
the
it's.
vaccinations cause
Oh yeah,
autism.
so that's a conspiracy itself. Well, so we can talk about, maybe we'll talk about that, some other like mental diseases some other time.
But dude,
But this is our main thing is about theories, and it leads back to the New World Order.
I honestly, within the next 100 years, I don't doubt that the government will plan something bigger than what they've already been doing. So I don't know, man. Like, I guess in a way, stay woke and be prepared for what the worst can happen.
Stay woke.
It's crazy out there.
Testing, testing.
Oh, we can finally hear you.
Finally, you're back.
Hey!
We,
What did
we
you
went over a topic that you're strong in, and we're kind of sucking at it.
No, it's all good. I mean, you guys, it's actually pretty complex. I'm not even, I don't even know half of the stuff. That,
But you're aware,
like,
but you know most of it.
involving
Like,
autism.
but you know it. But you know nonetheless. Like,
Because he has
like I've done
firsthand
some research
experience.
into it. I'm pretty sure Alex hasn't done any research in it. Maybe
I don't
know.
even do research.
There you go.
You guys didn't stray like too far from from like
How it actually
the
works.
illness, but yeah.
Yeah. So that's. Anything else? Anyone wants to add about theories and conspiracy theories?
Oh.
I know there's a lot more to go into. But
Oh,
I
there
don't know if we
is. This
should
can
talk
be like a
about it.
two-parter. Maybe we'll talk about more conspiracy theories in
We
the future.
should. We should make this into a series.
Wait,
The
yeah, we'll definitely
conspiracy
do that.
theories
Not a
itself
series.
into a series. Yes, dude. There's a lot of
'Cause there-
conspiracies to talk about.
Yeah, there's so much.
I know, but like, okay, well, maybe we can, but I feel like we should just stick to podcast episodes. We can do the theories, like, we can do certain theories.
Just like
On certain
conspiracy
episodes,
theories,
you know? That's
part
what I
2,
mean.
part 3, part 4, or
We can like title it like what conspiracy theory we're talking about.
Yeah, it won't be like frequently. It'll be like
Okay,
on an
so
certain
for this
occasion or
one,
whatever.
I'm just gonna put conspiracy theories because we literally have 3 different ones, and
Okay,
the
yeah.
next one we can put
Yeah.
one specific one.
Let's tell our viewers what we're planning on doing. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Anyways,
But this is
like I said, does
I
anyone
love,
have anything else to add?
I love
No?
talking about conspiracy theories. It's so interesting. Stay woke,
Yeah.
Wake up,
Pretty much,
sheeple.
dude.
sheeple.
All of these theories like come up with like open minds and being able to see a bigger picture with smaller details. So that's why I like conspiracy theories, because it's like the smallest of details that you have to pay attention to.
Oh, I got something small you can pay attention to.
Anyways, hopefully y'all
Your heart?
Yes.
hopefully y'all enjoyed this episode.
By the
yeah,
way,
we're pretty
before we
But
end this
like-
episode off, we did tweet out a new application or whatever you want to call it for
Oh, yeah, that's right.
for incoming guests. If you guys want to go check it out, you just put your basic information in there.
Answer a few questions.
Yeah, answer a few questions. We get to know you. there is a question on there asking if, do you want to get to know us before we talk on the podcast? For example, like, get on Discord server and just, have a little
Before we
talk.
record.
Have a little talk. Get to know each other. Have a few drinks. I don't know. But if you want to go check it out, it's on our Twitter. And if you like this episode, I'm pretty sure you guys do because I did. Just kidding. I don't care. Give us a like. Subscribe to our
Like,
YouTube
subscribe.
channel for more content in the future.
Yeah, no.
We upload
Follow
every
our
week.
Twitter
Oh, definitely. That's where we
for
post a lot
more
of stuff.
updates.
Yeah, we're starting to do a lot of random tweets now, so we can, not be boring. And most of the tweets are from me, to be honest.
Yeah.
Art, you need to step up your game.
Well,
from a
I
computer.
would, but everyone's gonna know it's it's from
Tweet
me,
it from a
so-
computer.
Oh
Tweet
yeah.
from
because of
Oh
my
yeah. Art has an
Twitter
Android.
for Android.
Tweet it from.
Okay.
Or
Anyways.
you can
Alright.
do it from,
From
your
my
i-
leapfrog.
Anyways.
Yes, your leapfrog.
From your
All right.
Samsung fridge.
All right, that concludes the end of episode 5. Hope you guys have a great day.